Joomla is a great CMS that allows you to easily update your website in a matter of minutes. But what's the point of it all if it ain't getting you any traffic? As I've mentioned in other videos, there's some serious pitfalls when it comes to SEO and Joomla. I have seen tons of Joomla websites not getting the traffic they deserve simply because of a few easy to change on-site SEO issues that are preventing them from getting indexed. If your Joomla website's not giving you the traffic you deserve, you're going to want to pay close attention to this video, because I'm going to give you 3 super important SEO settings you need to check on your Joomla website right now, and give you a bonus tip that's going to ensure you get the most out of the web pages you have. So let's jump right in. The number one most common reason why I see Joomla websites not getting indexed by the search engines and ultimately giving you the traffic you're looking for is because the developer of the site has left the no index tag in. So basically there's a tag in HTML that will tell the search engines to directly not index your website. You can see this if you go to your website, hold Control and press U, or alternatively you can right click and go View Source. And then if you look through your code, you could literally just do a Control F to find and then just put in there no index, and you'll see it right here. It says robots no index. Now that tells Google's robots and the other search engines robots not to index your website. If this is the case, you want to go to your website, log in to the back end, and go to System, Global Configuration. Scroll down to where you see here it says robots, and change no index no follow or no index follow to index follow. That means it's going to index the website and follow all the links on the website. After you make that change, click save, and your website should be able to get indexed based on that issue. The second issue I commonly see on Joomla websites that prevents them getting indexed is Google has no real reason to index it. So if you think that Google is basically finding web pages based on crawling links, so it goes to website A and it links to website B and the bots follow these links, if your website doesn't have any links to it, Google has no real reason to index your site. So that doesn't mean you have to go and build a bunch of links, because that's something that's a little bit controversial anyway. But what you should do at an absolute minimum is submit your website to Google's Search Console. So the Google Search Console is a free service that Google offer that allows you to submit your site to them and basically tell them about the pages that you have. There's a hell of a lot you can do with the Search Console to benefit your site in terms of indexation rates, and just testing for errors, and basically, yeah, you need to be on there. And that's the other thing, is a lot of people, when they say their website's not getting any traffic, they don't really know it's not getting any traffic. They're measuring that based on the amount of leads they're getting through their site, which could be a complete different issue. So you want to submit your site to the Search Console so you really know whether you're getting traffic, and if you're not, why that is. So if I'm logged in, you want to sign up for the Search Console. I'm logged in right now. I've got hundreds of client sites on here. So I won't be signing up, but it's easy to do. When you sign up, you want to click on this drop down arrow over here, click Add Property. The easiest one to do out of these two is this URL prefix. Stick in your URL, and then follow the steps. As I say, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how to do this. And after a few days, you should start to get back some data on how your website is performing in Google. The other thing you want to do is, once you've submitted your site to the Search Console, go on over to Sitemaps and enter in your sitemap here. If you don't have a sitemap, then I recommend using OS Sitemap, the Joomla plugin you can find for free in the Joomla extension directory. I've got a bit of a love-hate thing going on with OS Map, but usually it will work fine. So once you get that set up, you want to add that into here. Then afterwards, the other thing that I need to point out is that along a very similar line is we had a scenario once where one of our clients was they installed appliances for businesses, and so we had a bunch of they had a lot of services. One of them was installing appliances, so we had the pages that was / installation or something like that, and then / whatever the appliance was. And by default, the Joomla robots.txt file, which is a file that, similar to in the previous point I mentioned about with the robots tag, this file will also do a similar thing where you can set in there which which folders and things like that the bots can crawl. So by default, there's a Joomla installations folder. I'll show you in a second, that is blocked, and so all of these pages were being blocked. So when I was looking in the search console, I'm thinking, why on earth aren't any of these pages being indexed? It was actually because the settings was telling it not to. So I'll just pull that up, bear with me. So here's the robots.txt file I was saying about, and as you can see in here, we've got right here disallow / installation. So this is something you either, if you're worried about the security issues of this being indexed, you need to change your page structure around, or alternatively get rid of the disallow here by putting a hashtag right there, and then that turns that into a comment, so it won't be applicable, which is what I had to do with images, because images is another one which by default is disallowed by the robots. And if you watched one of my previous videos, you'll see how for one of my clients that brings in quite a lot of traffic and actually has brought them in a few leads. So you definitely want to change that, and then the same thing with templates as well. So this robots file you will find in your the root of your Joomla installation. So this is a little bit more technical. You might need to get a developer's help, but to be honest, if you can get in there, it's not hard to do. Log in using FileZilla or something like that. Open up the root of your website, and then just look for robots.txt, and then comment out any of these sort of things that are going on here. Another thing you can do, when I was talking about the sitemaps earlier, that a lot of people aren't actually aware of, is you can actually ping your sitemap to Google every time you update it. So after you submit to the search console, you may then add pages, and you might want to update Google about that, and you can do that by actually putting this URL into your browser. So it's https and then www.google.com/ping ? Sitemap equals, and then if you paste your sitemap in there, like I have with our business's sitemap, and then you just go ahead into the browser, hit enter, you'll see Google say sitemap notification received, and you've basically just told them that, look, I've made a change, I want you to have a look back through this sitemap. Another really useful way to get your pages indexed through Google's Search Console is to submit the individual pages and ask Google basically to index them. This is something that I personally use on a daily basis. Whenever I create a new page, I pretty much stick it in here to try to get traction building as soon as possible. I'm a big believer in taking a huge amount of action and trying to get the ball rolling today, instead of leaving it and seeing, you know, over time if it picks up. I want to index as soon as. So what you can do is you can grab your URL that you've created or that you want to check is indexed or not, and come over to the search console for your website that you're doing this on, and at the top here, if you just paste in your URL and hit enter, when this loads, it's going to tell you whether or not the page is indexed by Google, and give you back, if it's not, the reason why. It might just be that Google doesn't know about it, or it might tell you that there's some sort of issue that's preventing it being indexed. This has saved me a lot of times, a hell of a lot of work on the next point that I'm about to make. But yeah, if this says on here URL is not on Google, then you want to click request indexing and let it do its thing. And then I've seen pages get indexed within sort of 5-10 minutes. You know, you can tell. I mean, the other thing obviously you can do is you could search Google for site : and then whatever your URL is that you're checking, paste that in. If it comes back with your page, then you'll know that Google's indexed it. So for example, this page right here, estate agent brochures, is a relatively new page I created to get us more work around this, creating these, because it's something we're good at. So if we grab that URL, go into Google, do site : and then put that URL there, hit enter, we can see right here that we've got the page is indexed. So we know Google's indexed that, and I do rank for that as well, so we could just type in estate agent brochures and you'd see it on there. The third common reason why your Joomla website's not getting indexed is if you have a plugin that's trying to deal with the canonicals, like this one right here, that's not been set up correctly. I saw this on a website a little while ago that was getting literally no traffic at all. I posted this on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. Getting zero traffic from Google at all, and the reason is because this plugin, Amy Canonical, was set up to set canonical tags. So if you don't know what a canonical tag is, it's better to do a Google search. I don't want this video to last all day, but it was telling Google basically that the web address was http://website, and the real website was HTTPS, and so it was like anyone who was going to HTTP was getting redirected to HTTPS, and so there was this weird sort of loop going on where Google was being told the real version of the page was a page that redirects to a different page, but that page says it's, if you see what I'm saying, it's quite hard to word, but I've seen it a couple of times now, and I actually figured that out through what I explained in the previous steps through the Search Console, what was going on there when I inspected the URLs. And that's how I managed to get the traffic to just jump straight back up with literally like a 5-minute change, was because this plugin right here was telling Google the website address was wrong. And so this is one well worth checking. If you go, the easiest way, if you've got something like this going on, is to do what I showed earlier. So on my test site, for example, remember, if you right click, go view source, Control F for find, type in can on. So we haven't got a canonical tag on this website, so we know this ain't going to be what's causing the problem. But yeah, there's lots and lots of plugins out there that will put canonical tags on things, and they are great, and 100% they are necessary for Joomla websites, but you've just got to make sure that they're working properly. Right, now for the Bruce's bonus. This step right here is the one that could really change things around. It may feel a little bit like I'm saying the same thing everyone else is saying, but I really think that I've showed people this tool before and it's completely changed now, and it's gotten a million times better. So I promised earlier I was going to show a way that you can get the most out of your pages, and with this free tool that Neil Patel has put out called Ubersuggest, you actually can. I personally use Ahrefs, which is a paid version, but this strategy I'm going to show you right now I have used for quite some time, and it really does work. So Ubersuggest is pretty much turning into like a free alternative to Ahrefs, and to be honest, there's a lot of value on here. I'm starting to use this a little bit as well now, together with Ahrefs, because it's that good. So let's say you're a roofer in Colchester, for example. So if we go into Google and we type in roofers Colchester, we've got a bunch of ads, so we're not going to look at those because they're paid. We're doing free organic traffic. So if we go ahead and click on number 1, so we got Centurion Roofing right here. Okay, so if we grab their URL, paste this into Ubersuggest, make sure that you select the country. So obviously I'm using United Kingdom. Click search. This is going to give you an overview of all their data. That's not what I'm interested in right now. What I'm interested in right now is if we scroll down to SEO keywords. So right here we can see all the keywords that they're ranking for, how many searches that keyword gets on average per month, and how much traffic on average they get per month. So roofers in Colchester, they're ranking number 1 for. There's around 210 searches a month for it. And they are getting around, I've lost it now, I had it on the previous page, give me 1 second. They are getting around 64 clicks a month, so obviously that's going to be extremely profitable for them. And they are also getting all these other clicks as well. So Roofers Colchester, or Roofer Colchester, which is the one I just put in, same thing, 64 odd. Roofing Essex, they're getting 8. So then they've got these branded searches. So this right here is showing me a bunch of keywords. So if this was me, I would basically go ahead, pull up Notepad. Let's try and make this a bit smaller so I can do this. I would grab Roofers Colchester. Probably better to export these. As I say, I don't really use this tool that often. I do check, I do double check data in here, but mainly I use Ahrefs, but this is an amazing alternative. So I would grab all of these. Obviously, you don't want to use the branded ones. Roof Repairs Colchester, so that's a separate page. Roofing Company Essex, Roofers Essex. So right here we can see these are terms that are getting searched. Some of them they rank for, so high for, some of them they don't. Some of them they get traffic for, some of them they don't. But we can see right away, look, these are the sort of things we want to be mentioning on our website. If you're a roofer in Colchester, this is what you want to be doing. What you really want to be doing is phoning me up because I can do this for you. But if you haven't got the budget, this is what you want to be doing. So straight away, obviously you want these. You probably want to go for Colchester. You want these, all these phrases on your, probably put these, I'd go for your home page, and then you want to build out a separate page, Roof Repairs Colchester, that's a separate page. You want to target that, and then you want your content to talk about those things. So integrating this into your current content is going to, so I see people, everyone gives the same advice on YouTube about SEO. They say create more content, but you could publish 1 million pages online and get nothing back, because if it's not keyword optimized, it's not going to do anything. You really need to be doing the keyword research, and there's no excuse not to do it now, because Neil Patel's put out this tool that's completely free, so you ain't got to pay anything. There's no investment. It's literally just your time, and most people spend their time doing stuff they shouldn't be doing anyway. So this is a really good use of your time. Go ahead, grab these words, stick them in your pages. The things that we know for a fact affect your rankings are putting these keywords in your H1 tag, putting them in your title tag, having them in your URL or domain. All the other stuff helps, but those are the important things. Now, you could watch a number of videos to explain those in more depth, but I just want to give this tip away in this video as well, because you know, a lot of times people are missing out on traffic just because they don't understand that these things exist, and you know, you just need to have these sort of phrases on your website that people are typing into Google. And that's all I've got for you today. So listen, if you like this video, drop some feedback down. I had some good feedback on the previous Joomla SEO video I made. Thanks for that, by the way. So that's why I'm making more. If you want to see more of these, let me know. Subscribe, like the video, so I actually can see what you guys are enjoying. Thanks for watching.